And welcome to Geno's Picks. Okay, we went 2-1-1 last week to bring us to 27-28-1 on the year. But you guys know Geno's Picks doesn't really use ties. So here's a little something extra that is sure to excite all my friends who celebrate Hanukkah this week. You're getting an extra pick. Oy vey, what a bargain. No grinds my gears. Let's get right to it. My first pick, the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday night are getting 3.5 from the Cincinnati Bengals in Philly. Despite coming off a heartbreaking last-second loss to Dallas this past Sunday, the Bengals are still only a game out of the last wildcard spot. And given that every team in their division lost, still have a mathematical shot at the division because, get this, the only team that won last week in the AFC North was the Cleveland Browns. Actually, they won their third in a row. Still, Bengals have not been playing well of late and have actually not beaten a real team since the Giants in Week 10, if you can even call the Week 10 Giants a real team. Am I right? So regardless, they're coming off a short week. They're facing a group of Eagles who will again be without LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, and former starter Michael Vick. But again, that is great news for the Eagles, who are playing youthful, pressure-free football, as evidenced by their last-second win over Tampa Sunday. Now look, this is why I like the Eagles to flat-out win the game. While the Bengal Tiger may no longer be on the endangered species list, after Week 15, the Bengals team will be in danger of missing the playoffs. Oh, and by the way, there is one eagle that is still left on the endangered species list. It's not the bald eagle. It's the solitary black eagle. Get it? That's Michael Vick, because he's out. Foles is in. By the way, that's the actual solitary black eagle. What a beautiful bird. Take Philly, speaking of beautiful birds, and the 3.5 you're getting. My next pick, the Vikings are getting 3 at St. Louis facing the Rams. I've loved the Rams all year. They've been good to us, but they've struggled of late. They've struggled to put points on the board and have relied too heavily on their defense to win games, especially the past 2 weeks. That last-second touchdown by Gibson won the game, and 2 weeks ago, Colin Kaepernick had that bizarre lateral that the Rams are covered in the end zone, and then they won an OT. Well, there's 2 factors from those 2 games that they won't have this week. One is the Minnesota defense, which is far better than the Bills D they faced last week. And, of course, on the other side of the ball in Minnesota, you have this kid. Yeah, Adrian Peterson, AD, AP, call him what you want, but he's amazing. This comeback from knee surgery last year has been ridiculous because, get this, he's not just back, he's stronger than ever. He had 31 carries, 33 touches last week. He's had over 100 yards the past 5 weeks, people, and he came up huge and clutch in that win against the Bears last week. The thing, though, is AD doesn't warrant comeback player of the year. You know why? Because he played all last season except for 1 game, which staggers the mind, his regenerative abilities, and that he came back this quickly. Let me tell you, next time they're testing for drugs, they shouldn't be testing him for PEDs. They should be testing this kid for stem cells. I love Adrian. I love the Vikes. Take the Minnesota Vikings and the 3 you're getting. My next pick, get it? Because the Broncos are giving 3 to the Ravens in Baltimore. Cam Cameron is out, and Jim Caldwell is in at offensive coordinator. Wow, this guy is the Gerald Ford of the NFL, isn't he? Now, congratulate yourself and send a Christmas card to your 5th grade teacher if you got that. Gerald Ford's the only president and vice president never elected to either office, okay? And like Ford, Jim Caldwell just waits for someone to get fired or quit and then coasts into that position. And the problem is, also just like Gerald Ford, does a very forgettable job. Well, the good news is it'll be just like old times in Indianapolis this Sunday in Baltimore, because Jim Caldwell will be on the field calling offensive plays while Peyton Manning is lighting up the scoreboard. Unfortunately, he'll be doing it against the Ravens' 24th ranked defense. The bad news is Caldwell will be calling plays for the Ravens and Joe Flacco, who will be facing the Broncos' number 4 ranked defense. Look, these are 2 defenses going in different directions. Broncos D gets better every week, and the Ravens defense continues to fly south, especially as we saw this past Sunday, when despite taking out Uber stud RG3, blew an 8-point lead in the final 20 seconds in Washington to Redskins backup QB Kirk Cousins. Wow. You usually have to head a lot further south of the Mason-Dixon line to have a cousin screw you like that. Christ, I've been waiting since draft day to do that joke, people. Cut me some slack. The Broncos are in this one. Take them and lay the 3. My 4th pick, people. The Detroit Lions are giving 6.5 to the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Wow. While the aforementioned Redskins are stacked at QB, the Cardinals are an absolute embarrassment. Between Kevin Kolb, John Skelton, and Ryan Lindley, the Cardinals don't have a decent backup, let alone a legitimate starter. To prepare for the future, they shouldn't be watching game tapes of Detroit at Green Bay from Week 14. They should be watching film of the Washington Redskins from the 2012 draft. Learn how to get a QB. You stink. You cost us money last week. That's why we're taking the Lions and laying the 6.5. Which brings me to my Double Your Money Monday Night Betters. I like to call it. We've only missed 2 in the past 2.5 months. Let's get right to it. New York Jets at the Tennessee Titans, who are laying 1.5 to the woeful Jets. Wow. What a wonderful night to catch up on TiVo. This game is an absolute bust as we watch the Titans grooming future star Jake Locker and the Jets continuing to hold on and kid themselves that Mark Sanchez has a future in the NFL. Let's extend the Redskins metaphor one more week. Want to know what the difference between the Redskins and Jets QB position is? I will tell you. The Jets are still as lost as they were 5 years ago when Brett Favre left. But in Washington, they finally have something that city hasn't seen in 5 years. A black man who delivers on his promises. Sorry to get political, and don't get offended. I didn't mean Obama. That guy's Asian. Take the Titans. Lay the 1.5. Those are Geno's picks. Happy Hanukkah. L'chaim. Did I get spit on the camera?